friends. This is J-Bo. Welcome to my channel that involves making America healthy again. Maha. Extremely beautiful, perfect day in Maine. 85 degrees, low humidity. It's warm and hot, but not miserable. So today we're going to do Woods Walk Gun Talk number 45, and I'm not going to record the entire way because this is more of a woods walk. I will record in the woods, but I just wanted to say hello and kind of like a preamble. So we're going to say hello, and I want to thank you for being with me today on Woods Walk Gun Talk number 45, and we'll come back at you when we get into the woods. Thank you very much for walking with me today. Really appreciate it. And I just wanted to explain for new viewers what this is. It's a daily walking vlog. For my regular walking vlog, find the playlist Walking with J-Bo. This is the Woods Walk Gun Talk playlist, which involves a lot of political talk, firearms, etc. And my regular walks also contain politics, but mostly other things, from collecting vinyl records, movies, books, whatever pops in my head while walking. So anybody that's new that's watching, welcome. And I just wanted to mention what this is about. It's about making America healthy again. Maha. If you're a fan of RFK Jr. or Donald Trump, you'll enjoy it. If not, maybe you won't. But anyway, I'm 57 years old. I walk at least 5 miles a day. I've lost about 40 pounds, I would say, over the last 5 years of walking. Can't believe it's been that long already. I can't believe the pandemic was 5 years ago. That's crazy. Seems like yesterday. But anyway, here we are. Gotta stay healthy, America. Make America healthy again. Hello everybody, welcome to Woods Walk Gun Talk number 45. I got 45 of these in the books after this walk. About 720 miles plus walked after this walk on the year. It's all about making America healthy again. Maha. I already have a good sweat going. I've been walking for almost 2 miles. I suspect the mosquitoes are going to be very hungry today because there's no water. What do I mean by no water? I mean it's dried up. Mosquitoes are going to be fighting to survive, and they need blood so they can perpetuate their species. I think I'm going to get munched. I just took off my sunglasses because it was too dark in the woods here. I've already fended off 3 mosquitoes. So their natural habitat is drying up. You'll see a lot of the forest floor here. The weeds, the ferns are turning yellow and brown and wilting. That's not because September is next month when fall officially starts beginning. It's because we haven't had any water. And when you don't water your houseplants, they turn brown and the leaves get yellow. So it's no different out here. And we are officially in a drought. So don't know what that noise was. It was kind of disconcerting. Beautiful day today. 85 degrees. This running brook is dried up. Usually runs underneath these felled trees. Everything's all dried up. The dam is not damming water. And we got just a little puddle on the other side of it that's not being refilled. So I have never seen it this low. That's not to say it's never been this low. I've never seen it this low. So this is pretty bad. I imagine it's kind of widespread through Maine. So that water that's left there must be pretty murky and mucky, not very oxygen rich. Wow, this is usually full of water. All right, well, drying out, it's drying out. I am going to switch the ISO to a little bit darker, so I'm going to do that right now. Alright, what I did was I just changed the ISO to not be as bright in certain scenes where the background lights up really quickly, because I've been noticing a lot of those are too bright for my liking on the watch back. Now this here usually has a nice stream running through here. She's all dried up. She's a dried up old biddy. Well, my friends, welcome to Woods Walk Gun Talk number 45. And it looks like the Putin-Trump summit went much better than we thought it did at first. And of course the media tried to make it all negative. Some of CNN's coverage last night was so bad. Everything was Trump is a failure, this and that. He didn't get a peace deal. So by his own standards he set, this was a failure. It's like, why can't these guys just cheer for people to not be killed? You know, would it kill them, really? And they don't realize how bad it makes them look. So what he did was, that meeting ended where Putin invited Trump to go to Moscow. And there were other surprises as well. It's pretty obvious that Putin has a very big interest in making money for his country again. I was reading about it, and it looks like inflation in Russia is about 20%. That's really bad. It's not something we've been hearing about, but definitely stuff we should hear about. Definitely, inflation is something that's a problem for Putin, because if he wants to keep fighting this war, it's going to cost him money. I mean, if he's getting arms and stuff from China and Iran, they're not going to do it for free. So then, if the United States, Trump mainly, does put those extreme sanctions and tariffs on countries that sell oil to Russia, he's going to be in trouble, and I think he understands that. So the big problem is both sides are going to have to give up something to end this, and Zelensky doesn't want to give up anything. And from his point of view, I could probably understand it. His country's been bombed to shit, and he's lost pretty much most of his fighting age guys. They've been conscripting old men. They changed the age limit to join and fight to over 60, if you can believe that. That means you're desperate. Kind of harkens back to when Hitler was using 13 and 14-year-olds towards the end of the war and old men. That means it's over, okay? That's what it means. And Putin knows that, so he's trying to hang on to finish off Ukraine. But at this point, he did not make the gains he was hoping to make, and he doesn't want to give up more than 5 or 10% of what he's taken back. So if he doesn't get everything he wants, he's going to want to come back later when we have a weak president again. And I was very happy with the press conference that he told the media to their faces, if Trump had been president in 2020, he would not have invaded Ukraine. He took advantage of a weak president. And that's the truth, he did. And he did with Obama as well. Because these Democrats and globalists thought that the best thing to do would be to ignore Putin, not talk with him, and just keep giving Ukraine money and arms, and eventually Putin would have to quit. Without understanding Russian history, that I've gotten to in the previous walk, where Ukraine used to belong to Russia and they want it back, just like we would want Texas back. So one thing I like right now is how ammo prices have gone down. Now, a lot of people are going to say ammo is still expensive. If you're buying locally, it probably is, because they paid higher prices from their distributor when the prices were higher, and they're trying to get rid of their inventory, which they will eventually. But I'm seeing $9.98 a box for 50 rounds of 9mm. Granted, it's junk target stuff for the range, but that's fun. It's $10. You can buy 45 ACP, $17.95 for a box of 50 now. Some places you buy online. So things are going well for ammo prices. Be a good time to buy in bulk, start stocking up in case we have another shortage, which inevitably there always is, because political winds change. Obama was president, prices went up. Biden was president, prices went up. Supply and demand. There's a lot of political turmoil in 2020. Record gun sales, record ammo sales, and there was a supply shortage. Those two combined really shot the prices up. Supply and demand. Now, when Trump's in office, people are calming down right now. They're not feeling like there's going to be rioting all over the place. Things are feeling a lot more secure, and that lowers ammo prices. It lowers the demand. Plus, the supply chains have opened up a lot. And while it may be difficult to get steel case Russian, Tula and Wolf ammo and things like that, other countries not under sanctions have been making the same ammo. We got some stuff, I think it was kind of a play on the Tool ammo name. It's the Tela ammo, and it's made in Azerbaijan, one of the former communist blocs. And it's good ammo, and it's just as good as the Russian stuff. It's the same thing. So other people are picking up the slack. Still not as cheap as it used to be. Used to be able to get 20 rounds of 7.62 by 39 burn all, for example, for $5. I don't think you're ever going to see that again. But stuff is available. No matter what you shoot. 25 ACP is cheap. 380 ACP. 308 rifle rounds. A lot of the rifle rounds hover between 50 cents and $1 a piece a round. 30-30 is about $1 and a quarter a round. There's more materials involved, more lead sometimes, more chemical powder, more brass, longer casings, yada yada. So they cost more, but it's good. So right now we're gonna flip this around and we'll take a look-see. I got a very good sweat going right now. So somebody's got a short walking stick for me, but a lot of times you'll see these here. Somebody gets themselves a walking stick. I think what they did was they broke it. They broke it. So anyway, if you've never seen this before, it says kneel always when you light a fire! Exclamation point. Kneel reverently and grateful be to God for his unfailing charity. So that's the plaque on here. And we've got these wood benches you can sit down on. You've seen these in the winter time all covered in snow. We're not going to get all covered in snow anytime soon. In fact, I'm getting all covered in sweat. No deer, no deer today. I don't see any deer today. That's too bad. See squirrels. Fat chubby one on the tree there. It's also woodpecker season. This time of year you see the most of them, July and August. I guess that's when bugs are most active. So I would assume this lack of rain causes problems for the entire ecosystem. Top to bottom, less bugs. Birds have less bugs to eat. We started off the year with bugs galore. You always have mosquitoes. Those things are survivors. Sometimes we go up this trail that way, but we'll probably not today because we'll get to the top of where this goes, the long route this way. Make sure we don't have the screen blocked up here, smudged up with sweat. Sometimes I'll point at something and I'll hit the screen with my sweaty arm, and then it messes the picture up. I noticed that on a couple of walks. I will try not to do that. There's a little makeout bench. You can sit on here and make out with your favorite person. This is a nice view right here in the winter time and the fall, when that whole strip of trees here is turning colors or it's covered in snow. And you know, it's a really unfortunate thing, is it's nice to come walking here with me and everything, but you don't get the the 3D effect of everything. That's really what does it in person, especially with fall foliage. You can see the depth, three-dimensional. Still pretty to look at in regular two-dimensional or one-dimensional film, but this is basically two-dimensional video, I would think, because you can tell close and far, sort of. But size and scale using three-dimensional imaging is not on here. I've seen a good example of that online with a live water hole in Africa. Not the one I usually watch, but there's one where they have the camera a little further back, and you will actually see animals drinking out of the water. And at first you're like, what the hell are those? They look kind of small. And they're friggin' rhinos. Friggin' rhinos are huge, but they look small on that because there's nothing in the picture to give it scale. And with three-dimensional video, if it were available like on YouTube and stuff, you would see how far away you are standing, and then you'd be able to tell how big those are. But that's just something you don't get on here. And that's the difference between looking at it on here and in person. And that's another thing that adds to the difficulty of making a movie and keep people entertained. Because if you show something like this, it's like, okay, but you know, usually you'll put something else in the scene to give it scale and size. I'm not an expert in making movies, but I pay attention, and that's one thing I do like about a lot of Blu-rays is you get the director's commentary as well as people that do special effects or cinematographers, and they explain why they chose this shot in this lighting as opposed to not. And so yeah, you learn a lot about it after a while. I have a lot of Blu-rays and DVDs, too many. And you know, this day and age, they got everything available digitally. And they even have available digitally the commentary I'm talking about. So you can watch movies online with the commentary if you want to. And it takes up a lot less space in your house, but you don't own them, you know. So plus most of the time you have to pay to watch those movies. And if you buy the disc, you already own it. I use a lot of free video services that I won't mention on here. But certainly not paying for cable or anything like that. Now, if you want something like Netflix or Amazon Prime because you want to watch it as soon as it's ready, as soon as it airs, or if you want to do like me and wait a couple days and pick it up somewhere else when it's not fresh and new, then go ahead and pay for it. I was watching one of my older videos hypothesizing what this was, and that was pretty much wrong. In fact, I was wrong, but we have the official rundown here. This is the Aussie Henry Osmond and Mabel Wood Farm. They lived on the farm here for a while after 1913, running a dairy business. So in 1942, she gave 3 acres, the high point of land, to the Stanton Bird Club in memory of her brother. So this has belonged to the Stanton Bird Club ever since. Before that, there was a building here that sold dairy and delivered milk. So I'm glad they put that information up so we can get that information. So a lot of these places around here, these rock walls we pass past the boundary markers. We've got a rock wall coming up here. And you see these all through New England, New York State. That was what they did to mark their boundaries. They put rock walls. And those will run all around the perimeter of the property. And there's probably no shortage of rocks here if this was farmland. I mean, everywhere you look, there's rocks in the ground. It must have been very difficult work getting a farm to actually start planting. They didn't have a lot of equipment they have today. They didn't have no backhoes and all that stuff. And we get some apples coming out on the tree. That's a crabapple tree. And as you can see, day after day after day, it's been beautiful like this. And everything is just brown. And I know somewhere somebody's going to start a fire in Maine, because it is a tourist place. A lot of people come here. I don't know what they're doing about tourists and campfires that are camping, but somebody is going to do something which usually causes these fires, is They'll be watching the fire while they're there, and then it'll be time for them to go back to Connecticut and Massachusetts, and they leave the campsite and they leave smoldering embers. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. It's a beautiful day to be a neighbor. Sometimes when we come through this spot here, there's a lot of ice from standing water that froze. You have to tread carefully. I don't walk as much in the wintertime because it's wintertime. I don't feel like breaking an ankle, slipping on ice. Things you don't worry about when you're 20. I've had my share of injuries when I was 20 from ice. It was about the age I learned that you don't walk with your hands in your pockets in the wintertime. You wear gloves. You put your hands in your pockets and your feet come out from under you. They go straight up in the air in front of you and you smack your head on the ground. Which I held my neck up so I wouldn't hit my head. I ended up getting almost like a whiplash. Couldn't turn my head one way or the other for a couple of weeks. So, stupid is what stupid does. I can assure you, I no longer do that. Now, when it's cold and you need to warm your hands and you don't have gloves, shove them right down the front of your pants. That way, if you slip and fall, your hands will just come out reactively to stop you from breaking your neck. And your hands will be warm because your groin area is the warmest part of your body. That and your armpits. And most of the heat on your body escapes through your head. So, wear a chapeau, which is a hat. And that's why wearing a ball cap on some of these walks, I've overheated a little bit until I've taken it off. So now we're going to come down this way, where sometimes I have noticed in the wintertime, right where we are right here, I have noticed cutting across. See if we can see any marks. See? Now, I'm sure you can see this on camera. If you look through here, right here ahead of my hand and my fingertips, you'll see that something walked through the brush going that way, and it folded things over that way. Could have been a person, but from what I've noticed coming here, this is a spot with deer, and I've seen a couple of moose tracks through here. And you can see the same thing here in the grass. It's laying down. So this is part of a pathway that animals use. And again, we have some over here as well. So, and I have seen turkeys. I've noticed that wild turkeys use the same paths that deer do. And often you will see deer and wild turkeys eating together in one place. They're like buddies in nature. So I'm sure the deer can smell the turkeys and vice versa. And that may be how they locate trails. I don't know. Would make sense to me. Supposedly, turkeys have a really good sense of smell, and so do deer. But I'm still baffled by people that hide up in trees, camouflaged, and they're up in a tree waiting to shoot turkeys, making turkey noises to attract them. Now, the turkey noises to attract them, that's probably a good idea. But I would find a deer or turkey trail, and I would think eventually you're going to see turkeys. And to me, I have been out just standing there, and there have been turkeys. So if I had a gun, I wouldn't need to be camouflaged. I wouldn't need anything. I'd just shoot the son of a bitches. They'd be like right there. You could see them. So 20 gauge shot through a moderately choked, maybe over and under. 12 gauge would do it as well, but you could do it with a 20. In fact, a lot of people go turkey hunting with 20 gauge. That's one of the reasons why that gauge is still popular. You go to a range, 12 gauge is better, much better. But for turkey hunting and bird hunting, 20 is pretty damn good. It's almost like the perfect round for it. But we have been walking through here before, and I've seen like 12, 14, 16 turkeys following each other. They walk in single file. It'd be easy to pick one off. Now, we did notice a new trail that they put in over here. They have installed a new trail, and I don't want to use it regularly because it cuts across a part that I like to walk. But I am going to walk on it and then walk back, just to see what it looks like. I've never been on it, but I did notice they put a new cut across, shortcut. So we're right here, and this is a trail right here that wasn't here before. They marked it with a green on the tree. So we'll go up this way for the first time. Now, I have seen deer cut through here, so this is going to cut right through where the deer and turkey crossing is. So sometime we may see deer or turkey through here. But it's nothing special so far. It's just a cut across. So I'll turn around and come right back this way because I like going the other way, like I said. But we'll finish it just to make sure. That's going to come out over here. Longer than I thought it was. Alright, there's a little wood crossing here. Well, isn't that clever? Did not think it was this long. Now, normally we have water running through here, like I said, and it's a little wet. This is going to be pretty cool when there's a pretty good amount of water running, because it looks like it's pretty low to touching where that would be. And this goes up here. Wow. Well, okay, this is impressive. I get it. They did kind of an S thing to make it longer. get some more wood crossings here. Got some here. Wow, that's pretty cool, actually. And alright, well, maybe I won't backtrack on this. I thought this was a lot shorter. Wow, I'm impressed. Well, that's very cool. Alright. And this is where it meets up on the hill that I killed myself on walking up, which will probably hit this on the way back. So we're going to go down this way. Probably coming here too late to feast on those raspberries. But there was raspberries and blackberries that were going to be ready in a week or two, but it's been longer than that since we've been here last. So maybe we'll get lucky. Have some fresh raspberries right off the trail, like we did last time. And those blueberries too. I was surprised to find blueberries here. Those were tasty. Getting mauled by mosquitoes. Alright. That's the whale rock sign. When the whale is a rockin', don't come a knockin'. Alright, I've said that too many times. I get it. I get it. We got 3.5 miles walk today. Only about 1.5 in here. And as I stated at the beginning of this video, I'm not recording the entire walk outside of this place. I just did kind of a preamble. See or hear any woodpeckers like last time. We've got some half decent film footage of woodpeckers through this part here before. And again, I want to mention to people that, you know, a lot of people want to see me walk in different places more often. I get that, but you have to drive to get there. You have to make it a trip. And this is about daily exercise, and I got some really good commentary about my ocean walk, which is always fun, but it's not fun if you're trying to get a workout, because you're standing there looking at things so often that you don't even really get a good workout. So something I'll do once in a while though. But like today, I'm getting a workout. Walking in the woods always gives you a workout, because you have to step over things, you have to climb up things, walk across things, walking down steep hills, you have to kind of like, the weight of you pushes your toes into the toe box of your shoes, and you have to fight to keep your balance. And you can walk 4 miles in the woods and it'll feel like walking 6 miles in the city. It's a noticeable difference, I guess is my point. No woodpeckers. Alright, let's see if there's any berries. I get any berries. I'm not seeing any berries. I see the bushes. I'm not seeing any berries on them. Let's see if we can scout out any berries from here. And right there, all of those bushes. All those bushes right here are all wild berries. I'm not seeing any. Animals eat them. They're here to feed the aminals. So we're going to take off down that way. Oh, right here in front of my face. Look at that. Blackberries! Alright, I'm going to walk down here. Some of these are ready to eat. Look at that. Oh my God, look, look, look. Mmm. And they won't make you fat. No pesticides. Mother Nature. Well, I'm sure you can understand why I'm going to stand here and eat some of these. Mmm. Some of these ones are still red. They're not ready yet. Because you have some that come out at the end of June. The raspberries. And if you remember from what I read, I told you late July and into August, you'll see the blackberries. Both the raspberries and blackberries go in cycles. Beginning of summer and end of summer. Alright, I'll eat a couple more. Well, maybe 4. And we'll leave the rest for the animals. I'm an animal too. No. So I lied. They're freaking delicious. I'm telling you. My brothers and I used to go fill up bowls with these. Oh, look at that. Oh my God. It's a feast. I used to go fill up bowls with these. And I would just put milk and sugar in a bowl and eat the damn blackberries like they were cereal. Alright, we'll leave those. Isn't that cool? They're just right there. And yeah, you can see them. All right, Well, that was pretty awesome. So we'll cut down over this way. This tree was not here the last time. So that's a new something that fell off here. So we're gonna go over the top. Ugh. And all kinds of blackberries in here. A whole bunch of them I'm stepping on. They are all over the place. These ones here are in the process of turning red to black. When they're black, they'll be ready. Oh, that's so exciting. I love that. Oh, those were so good. Well, let's walk down this way and see how the blueberries are doing. Some more blackberry and raspberry bushes here. I don't see anything being fruitful on them. They are thorny though. They do have thorns on them. You need to pluck carefully. Do your plucking carefully. Oh yeah. That's the whale rock. That's a rock that people think looks like a sperm whale or something. And as I've said before, I'm not very impressed by it, to be honest with you. But there it is, whale rock. Da 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 da! Alright, let's walk down this way and see where the blueberries were. Those are blackberries. See a bunch of them there. There's all kinds of them for little critters to eat, which I'm sure they are. And don't see the blueberries. Where are the blueberries we saw? Ugh, blackberry seeds. Oh, these look familiar. Oh, I see blackberries. I'm not seeing the blueberries anymore. Might be past there. You can see there's blackberries in here. All kinds of stuff to eat if you're a deer out here. Spitting out blackberry seeds. Well, this was fun today so far. Minus the blackberry seeds. Did eat a lot of those though. Very good. Yeah, the blueberries are all. Blueberries are not here. They're all all those blackberries though. Very nice day today, trail hiking. If we follow these power lines and go all the way to the main grid, and we could follow them to Canada, which I have no reason to go to Canada ever again. Seriously afraid if we went to Canada and they declared a pandemic while we were there, they wouldn't let us leave. They did it during the last stuff. I just don't even want to go there. Australia either, unfortunately, for the same reason. Very authoritarian and fascistic. Which goes back to what I was saying. The liberals are authoritarians. And they're the fascists. You don't go along with what they want you to, they punish you. They censor you, they arrest you, they defund you, they debank you, they do everything to you. And we don't do that. So they turn around and they call us the fascists and the authoritarians, which is highly comical. Now this usually has a lot of water running through it, and there was even a little trickle the last time I came through and said it was getting dry. Now that is dried up. It is dry, like no water at all. So it's drying up. A whole field of golden ragweed. I think it's called goldenrods. It's ragweed. We have come through here before where the ground is so wet that when you walk, your footprints fill up with water. And today it feels normal. And we have seen plenty of turkey through here as well. Doing a 360 sometimes on a big open field like this. Isn't that gorgeous? Perfect weather today. Super perfecto. Northern Maine had dew points in the 40s, which is very reminiscent of September. But we're going to be warming up. I believe, well, today's 85. Tomorrow's going to be close to 90. Now we are going to have a front go through. Have a high temperature of 69 coming up. I believe for Wednesday. That's going to feel like early fall, I think. The air will be dry. But right now it's still summer. So right now I have just hit 4 miles. Quattro. And it's been a good walk today. So really I'm thankful you guys enjoy these walks. And I don't mind recording them. They're walks I'd go on anyway, whether I was recording or not. I'm going to go snoop at that spot in the woods where a couple of times I've seen deer scamper through there while I walk through. Let's see if we see anything. See any turkeys. Go snoop through here. Switch out the battery. Place to sit and rest. Don't expect to see anything through here today. But you never know. Follow this far enough, come out on a road somewhere, but it also goes to the middle of nowhere. According to Google Maps, it ends up in the middle of woods. Because I can see my GPS location right now. There's a trail that goes this way. This looks wide enough for an ATV, which is what I think uses that. We'll walk across here. This is where I saw a deer once run across. And this little trail down this way goes to the power lines back there. Nothing really special to see there. Cool little spot. It's quiet. You can hear the breeze. Looks like they cut a tree here. Alright, so we'll head back. So right now it's pretty interesting watching the Democrats, because what they're doing is they're being told by their voters and constituents and leftist nut jobs that they're not fighting hard enough against Trump, which translates as Trump is winning, and they don't like to see that. And they want him to do something about it. He needs to be stopped. So their reasoning is, we're going to swear more in interviews. And we're going to do everything we can to counter him. But we're not going to fight against him with our own policies. And that's really what is missing here, and what has been perplexing me as to what the Democrats are doing. And they're losing their minds. What you're supposed to do to fight Donald Trump is come up with your own solution to whatever it is you're upset about. Not just swearing on TV and gumming up the works and throwing tantrums, making threats. They don't have any policies. They still have not learned why they lost. And it's a beautiful thing, because they're going to keep losing. They fully expect, because Democrats or Republicans always win midterms if there is a Democrat or Republican in the White House. In other words, a Republican wins the White House, 2 years later the House flips to the other party. Checks and balances by the public. And vice versa. Got a Democrat in there, it flips red. Well, I don't think we're going to see that next year. And there have been instances in the history of our country where exactly that has happened. That the party in power keeps the House. Democratic Party right now is so low among voters, and the situation politically is ripe for them to lose next year regardless, no matter what they do, because they're not coming up with policies, they're not coming up with ideas. The public has rebuked everything they've been promoting for the last 20 years, woke politics. American public's done with that. Thank God for it, figuratively and literally. Thank God for Donald Trump. He has systematically destroyed the media. He's destroyed the Democratic Party. He's destroyed woke politics. The Olympics is going to happen in 2028. It's already been announced that transgender everything is not going to be allowed. Biology matters, science matters, common sense matters. And the voters so far are on board with it. And then next year at this time would be one big beautiful bill giving people tax breaks, extra child tax credits next tax year. There aren't going to be very many people upset with the Republican Party, especially when the Medicare and Social Security stuff the Democrats have been saying Republicans are taking away from millions is not going to be taken away from the people that actually need it. So they're going to be on very weak ground a year from now. The economy is going to be booming. Factories are going to be getting built. This is going to be an amazing time. Pending another ridiculous pandemic, which would destroy all of this. And I hope to God that is not their last resort. That would absolutely upset me and infuriate me. And it wouldn't be done by any Americans. It would be done by somebody like China, who is having their economic troubles. They might want to level the playing field by ruining our economy by releasing a virus. I would not put it past them. In fact, they may have done that the last time. Without evidence, of course, just my opinion. But the United States may be entering one of its strongest, biggest, most productive periods ever, the most prosperous. Because we needed somebody like a Donald Trump to come in and break up the system, piss everybody off, and that is the proverbial bull in the china shop that I voted for to come in and break all the china. That is what I voted for. So far I'm getting everything I voted for. I don't like that inflation has gone up 1% in July. And I think that's temporary and part of the results of things being unstable because of change. A lot of small businesses have had to change how they do business. It's more difficult for small businesses to do that. So they have to raise prices because the supply chain from China has changed. But in the long run, that is the temporary pain Trump was talking about, necessary to fix the entire system. So later on, those same people will do well. So it's all part of the plan. It's going along as planned. If Trump could get peace with Ukraine and Russia, I saw something that blew my friggin' mind yesterday. Blew my mind. Hillary Rodham fucking Clinton was on video that said if Trump could broker peace with Ukraine and Russia, she said he would have her full vote for a Nobel Peace Prize. Hillary said that. Yes, the Hillary, the Hildebeest, the evil woman. So I found that fascinating. I think the left is starting to realize that Trump is on the right side of it. And if you're just going to go against Trump on everything for the sake of fuck Trump, I'm going against Trump, then now you're defending crime in Washington, D.C. And, you know, really, who gives a fuck if D.C. is in the top 5 crime-infested cities in the country? They're high in crime. I mean, you're defending crime. I mean, how stupid do you have to be as a party to defend crime just to go against Donald Trump? The smart thing would be, we agree there is crime in DC. And we as a party have a plan, we're going to do something about it, but what Donald Trump's doing is not the right way to do it. Why can't they just say that? You know? Democratic Party doesn't do anything unless they have paid a consulting group, and the consulting group, which offers them advice, stupid advice, like we need to go woke, are run mainly by young people who went to these universities and have been fucked up in the head, in the cabeza, and they have stupid thinking to begin with. So they're giving the advice to the party. Democratic Party pays $1 million as a consulting fee to be told to do something stupid, and they go ahead and do it instead of just using common sense. If we go against Donald Trump on this, it's going to look like we're defending crime. I mean, do you really need to pay somebody to tell you that's a stupid idea? It's unbelievable. Stupido. All right, we're gonna work our way out of here now. I've eaten all the damn berries I'm gonna eat. I've done all the bitching I'm gonna do. Now I want to work on a plate of food. Ah, I forgot my wallet. Today would have been a good day to stop and pick up some diced tomatoes. I need some diced tomatoes. Damn, double damn. Well, I'll make something else. I'll have pasta some other time. I gotta remember to bring my wallet. So I think on the way back today, instead of going up that real steep hill, because I've already gone 4.5 miles, I'm gonna take the way we didn't take on the way in here because of that new trail. And I think I'll take my way out that way. And I'll have somewhere around 6 miles today by the time I get to where I'm going, which will be sufficient. It will suffice. I'm gonna do a pocket check. Make sure I have my car keys and everything. House keys. Another garter snake. I scared a garter snake off the trail. I don't think I caught that on video well. The garter snakes are out. They feel vibrations, which is good because then they won't get stepped on by me. They know I'm coming. Haven't seen anyone here today. Unusual. Usually you'll see at least one person. And it's a Saturday. Still spitting out blackberry seeds. They get everywhere. Those were good though. Yummy, yummy, yummy. Last time we went through here, there was a little trickle of water left running, but there isn't going to be a damn thing today. Usually it's so wet and muddy here, you have to rock hop on these rocks to cross. I'm not going to have to do that today. Yeah, I've never seen it this dry. Wow. We are in need of some rain, I hate to say it. My stream is all dried up. Bone dry. And that's something. You hear me smacking myself, it's because of mosquitoes. You stop walking and they just beeline right for you. Food! You'll see some animals in videos online. They're so thirsty from drought, they will come up right to humans who they normally would not go around, hoping that they'll give them something. And sometimes they do. Can't imagine being an animal out here. Where are you going to get water? I mean, there is a reservoir over that way on the other side of a fence. And there is a part of the woods that floods under the road. I would imagine there's still water there. So technically the animals around here can get water if they go out of their usual routes, which puts them at a disadvantage from being hunted by predators. But we don't have any wolves in these woods here. Further up north there are. Cougars are rare, very rare, northern Maine, but it's mostly mostly bobcats, which are bigger than house cats. More like a small dog, I guess. They're not very aggressive to people, and we have seen those around here. They have those long hair tufts off their ears. They look like cats, and they have short bob tails. Hence the name. I am soaked with sweat. My shirt is saturated. Definitely time for us to motivate out of here. Had an enjoyable walk today. Fresh air, sunshine. I'll go home and have some trail mix. And I'll have a diet cola. I got some really good sparkling water. One of my favorite ones. New favorite, I should say. I tried out some Polar sparkling spring water. I love sparkling water. There's no calories, no artificial sweeteners, and when they make it right, there's no bitter taste to it. So anyway, I got some that was lime and watermelon. Oh my God, that is so delicious. Really good to mix those two. Oh, such a beautiful day today. No deer, no turkeys. They may be doing what I was talking about. They may have just migrated somewhere where they could get water. Everything's fully grown in. This is that same stretch we walked through at the beginning of summer. There was barely a bush here. Now it's all grown over. And again, you see all these with brown leaves. A lot of people online would see that and they'll say, oh, the leaves are turning. It's starting to get fall early. Nope, that's drought. Just like your houseplants when you don't water them. Same thing. Everything is shriveling up. This is that sign you guys like. Ticks and poison ivy. So, definitely not a field you want to go frolic naked in. You're not going to have good results. You'll get poison ivy and covered in ticks. There's some bird boxes out here. It's a bird sanctuary. So they leave these fields here full of ticks because birds eat them. They're bird food. One of the few times that I've not run into anybody, but I'm sure there's going to be at least one person. I think there's only one, maybe two other times I've never run into anybody, and one time it's because it was cold in the winter time. Today is a beautiful day. It's a Saturday. It's not hot and humid. Weather's perfect, 85 degrees. Maybe it's that lull at the end of summer where people are summered out. Yeah, we were in this spot earlier. We're gonna work our way out of here. Oh yeah. There we go. Got some shade now. I'll walk back past the place that used to be a dairy farm. So we had a building here that was a dairy farm, and there's another foundation over there. So they might have had some cows in there or something. I would assume, because you need cows to make milk. So pretty logical guess. Whew. Having a good workout today. Now we're going to go through a stretch where normally I get swarmed by mosquitoes, and this will tell me definitively if the lack of water is helping or hurting the amount of mosquitoes. I think there's less mosquitoes, but they're more desperate. That's my guess. And they're getting more aggressive to get some blood. Little vampires. Blood-sucking demons. You get that platform down there. I've never been able to figure out why it's there. It must be there to stand on it and watch something. Never seen anything. Maybe the Stanton Bird Club website has info on that. I'll check that out, but I doubt it. Yeah, I'm not getting mauled by mosquitoes here. Typically this whole area down here is wet and swampy, so it's like mosquitoes galore. And I'm not getting swamped. I see deer track going through there though. They've been this way. The deer have been through here. Up the hill here. Walking through the green moon of Endor. Actually would not mind meeting an Ewok or two. Highly unlikely. 5.5 miles. I've done 5.5 miles. Did 3.5 in here. I did 2 before getting here. A woman in my ear just told me, and she wouldn't lie to me. I am just about finished for today, though. Find my way out of here. Go home and chow down on trail mix. I got some stuff that's got almonds in it, other nuts, and it has white and dark chocolate chips in it. A very good pick-me-up after a walk. I'm not really worried about the calories because I've burned off more calories today than I'm going to eat for the rest of the day. Every walk is between 700 and 1,000 calories. Today we'll lean more into the 9 something or 1,000. And if you walk daily, by the end of the week, you're eating 3 or 4 meals less worth of calories. 3 days less calories than if you hadn't walked, if that makes sense, and ate like you usually do. So that's why you lose weight when you walk. It's pretty simple math. You're burning more calories than you're taking in. Now, if you eat like a hog, walking is not going to make much of a difference because you're taking in more calories than you're burning. I don't eat very much, but I love to eat and I don't starve myself. I just changed what I eat. I like beef or chicken. I don't eat processed foods. I cook rice, I'll cook pasta, and I'll get cans of tomato sauce that hasn't had anything added to it. Season it myself with oregano, Italian seasoning, a bit of pepper. Sometimes I'll chuck some basil in there. The stuff that you get at the store, they put sugar in it, they put a ton of salt, and that stuff will kill you. I mean, literally. If you're over 50, 55, you should not be eating jars of sauce off the shelf. It's just not good food. Even the organic stuff has bad stuff in it, like salt. Organic does not mean healthier. It means it has real sugar instead of corn syrup, or the tomatoes in it were grown without pesticides, but it still has a whole crap load of salt in it, because salt is organic in everything. So that's a marketing thing they did, and it costs more, and people really are not eating better, even when eating organic. Now, fresh organic vegetables is different. No pesticides, no this, that, or the other. But you increase your chances of boiling some broccoli and worms come out of it. So, you know, it's a trade-off. There's a reason why those things were done. This is my point. Now, some organic companies will actually have pesticides that are organic. They're just stuff that is natural that pets don't like. Pests don't like. So anyways, walking our way out of here. All right. Definitely one of the better workouts for the year today. And we got some good scenery as well. And I think that's something new I'm going to do now when I do the woods walk ones, because I always have a difficult time getting 5 miles in here. So I think walking 2 miles before getting here has been the perfect solution. And I started recording when we came in here with a short preamble I recorded at the beginning of the video to explain what I was doing. And this works. So I get my workout in, and all you guys get to see is woods. And I like to separate my woods walk gun talk videos from regular street walking. All right, I'll wind this up and get out of here. I'm heading towards the exit, which is, today is the exit, but it's actually the entrance. I don't come in by the entrance, I come in by the side port, usually. Last time we came through here, I came through the front entrance. Not today. So I think my favorite gun round to shoot from a handgun is 45 ACP. Hands down my favorite. Absolutely. I like the feel from the recoil, the felt recoil from pretty much any pistol that shoots it. I like the feedback you get from targets, especially up in the range that it's meant to be shot from, 20 to 30 yards. Shooting something up close with 45 ACP is an adrenaline rush that I enjoy very much. And the good news is the prices have come down. The reason why I mentioned 45 ACP is this is Woods Walk Gun Talk number 45. 45. So we got a lot of this stuff with the Democrats. They're still hanging on to the Epstein stuff because they get nothing else. It's really quite pathetic to watch. But basically, they're saying everything Trump is doing now is a distraction away from the Epstein files. Like, you know, nobody would be trying to get peace in Ukraine. Trump is only doing it to cover up the Epstein files and change the subject. Come on, guys. Really? Are you guys really that desperate? The Epstein thing is not really on the highest priority list of things going on in the world right now. It just isn't. It's not to say it's not important. I want to see people brought to justice too, but I also want to see people in our government that are guilty of sedition and treason brought to justice as well. And we're going to see a whole bunch of stuff coming up in the not too distant future, as well as the Epstein stuff. Democrats are going to eat crow again and look like fools because they're really good at that. Really good at it. Now I just hit 6 miles, which took 2 hours and 19 minutes. And that's the other thing I was trying to tell you guys. When you walk through the woods, you're going to add extra time. I've added 20 minutes extra than it normally takes to walk 6 miles because we've been looking at stuff and eating berries. So my friends, I'm going to end this Woods Walk Gun Talk number 45. It's a long one, but that's what we got today. And I love recording these. I'm glad that you come with me. Hope you enjoy the banter and the conversations. And yes, I know it's long, but God bless you and your family. Say a prayer for Trump and the country. And we got good things coming. Really good. For the world too. So we got the right guy in there. I'm so happy. See you guys on the next walk, my friends. So this concludes Woods Walk Gun Talk number 45. And we will see you in the future in different walks. Bye bye, my friends. Stay safe.